Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Mick What, and today we are talking about the new Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris Blooming of Matricaria DLC number 2, the second major DLC to be released for this game. Now I'm going to be talking about mainly what the story entails and what this content actually is. I'm not going to be going over really with the gameplay because I'm assuming if you're looking for the second DLC, you already have played this game, plenty of it, and enough to look to buy the next DLC, so you already know how this game is playing. I might make comments here and there, but really I'm going to try to stick to this content. So first off, let's start off with the story. Now the story is they add another, little random character for the gameverse. His name's Rogu. He's a green-headed dude who's headstrong, kind of silly, and has the heart of a child, they say. So that's not really a problem. He is kind of annoying, especially in the beginning. But throughout the story, you go on a couple adventures, and I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. He does tend to grow on you and the group. With him around, you do see a bit more of the Kirito crew interactions. So what I mean by that is like, Kirito, Yu-Gi-Oh, Alice, and, more of how they would interact if the anime hadn't gone where it has gone. So it's always interesting to see the stuff that they do is pretty interesting. A lot of the stuff is kind of fluff. We like to see some interesting new things happen with a new DLC, but it doesn't always happen that way. In this one, you do see spurts of it. You do see interactions with characters that you don't normally see, like Eldry, for instance. That Integrity Knight, you see more of him and more of kind of how he interacts with Kirito's crew and all that. So you can really see some little connections being made and all that stuff. The story overall, it's pretty generic, I guess. I wouldn't get too into the whole story as a whole. You kind of know what's going to happen from the very beginning because they kind of, it's just that type of game that, Kirito's the guy, and you kind of know that that it's going to go his way eventually. There are some shocks and everything. Like, personally, I would just do it just to see what happens between Kirito and the crew and see that character development, the bonds being formed, and all that good stuff. That's the main reason why I buy these SAO games, to see all that extra lore. Now, as for the content in the game, so I'm going to say it, let me see, with this DLC they added a new weapon art, or a new weapon type, so the axe and shield. I don't know why they went with the axe and shield, probably to go with Rogu, who I guess the axe is to show that he's crazy, like his character type or something. He's reckless, something or another. And I haven't really been able to use the axe and shield very well. I can tell you that when I did use it, it was kind of slow, but that's because, maybe I just don't have the right gear set up for it yet. Overall, the stuff you're going to be fighting and everything stays around level 100, and you can definitely do it with just base gear, especially if you finished the extra DLC number 1, Blooming of Forget-Me-Not. If you finish that, and if you at least have XL gear, you'll be okay. Even if it's not upgraded, you can still deal with level 100 enemies with the endgame gear. I'm going to be honest, I am pretty disappointed with the map creation that they went through. You get a new area. It's kind of like the tower that we have in the first Sword Art Online game. I know in that one they had a tower filled with enemies that you go through. You can get loot. It's non-stop action, and you can just go, until you get tired of it. Well, in this one, it does look repetitive. They go through a lot of things twice. There's 100 levels. You have to go through all of them except for like 10 maybe. They give you a break for the 10, and I wouldn't be so disappointed if the levels looked different, but no, it's literally the same, 5 different types of little level types, with maybe 10 enemies total on each level. So you kind of do get I'm pretty bored with it actually, and it does start to just really bring down the experience because they stop, especially when you're running through the DLC, you know, they kind of just stop you and force you to experience something. Like in the beginning, you reach a certain point, like, oh, you got to go 20 levels down. Okay, you go 20 levels down. Oh, you got to go 10 levels up. Okay, we go 10 levels up. Why did you need to go 10 levels up? For Kirito to say one line of dialect. And now you can go all the way to the top and teleport to the top, where you could have teleported before. So, and then after that, oh, let's go 20 levels down. Okay. He's like, oh, well, now that your party has made it 20 levels down, you're going to control this party and go another 20 levels down. So that's kind of gets repeated. They do kind of repair a couple maps, so that can get pretty frustrating, but as long as you just through it, I finished this in about 9-10 hours. I know it says like, oh, you has 15 to 25 hours of gameplay. You know, that's if you want to take your time and kill everything on the monotonous freaking tower levels that they have. But other than that, that is another point I want to touch on, is that you will actually have to play with different characters other than your main Kirito. So just be sure to have everybody's gear up to date, or, you know, not. Like I said, if you have at least a piece of endgame gear for everybody, which I'm sure a lot of us do, then you'll really have no problem. Content ways, you know, they did add levels, more levels to the end game free bosses. So like, I believe the first bosses that we've in the first free DLC are now like extended to level 999. So that's probably how you're going to get most of your good gear. And of course, after you beat the game, there's 4 new areas, north, south, east, and west, that have 4 new boss types. Those boss types just look like buffer versions, mixed versions of the divine beasts that we've already been farming and taking down from the free DLC. They just bumped them up a bit, with the minimum level being a level 600 fish, going to 700, 800, and then 900 being toughest. So it's going to take me a bit to get there. I don't know what exactly they drop yet, because I can't actually take I've only tried the 700 and he smacked me, so I'll be sure to make another video on that. But anyways, overall this DLC does a good job of at least adding the story. That's the main reason why I play this game. It might be the same way for you guys, or, you know, you guys might not. You guys might be more on the game side element. So if you play this game to have the grind, well, they've brought the grind by extending the levels. And it was like, oh, you can now reach player level, what is it, 199 or something like that. Oh, you can now reach enemy level 9999 and stuff like that. So there's definitely stuff for people to do if you're willing to put in the hours. But if you just want to go in, finish the story, it's a decent story, and that is what it's all about. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and have a good day.